my dad did this kind of like discover art as an adult when he was 30 or 40. So growing up, he always had, he was like obsessive, he would obsessively go to the library and check out books, you know, and he kind of gave himself an education. And so he used to bring back, you know, Cézanne or Picasso or different things like that. But I remember, like, as I got into high school, I didn't really know what contemporary art was. But he started bringing back Jasper Johns and Cy Twombly, and I remember him, you know, I remember he'd always try to share it with me, but I wasn't that interested. But he'd just try to share it, and he'd say like, "Oh, these guys, people think they're like the best artists, you know, alive, and I don't really understand it, but all of these experts think so, so I'm gonna try really hard to understand it." And he read everything, he looked at all the books, he would try to go see it, and it was like, I think a pretty big lesson in like, you know, art's not meant to be absorbed easily. Sometimes it's hard work to access, like, you know, like a challenge. It's supposed to be challenging. Other artists are, you know, inform my work just as much as my own, like, kind of thoughts. I think it's huge for, I mean, I think kind of like for, you know, kind of contemporary art in general is like all about like kind of using what's happened before you. You know, you're constantly looking to your predecessors for inspiration and stuff. I mean, I've had like a lot of significant artists have impacted me, and even these Berninis or Caravaggio's or all of it is amazing. You know, it's so even to like Ed Ruscha is a really big influence, and even thinking like reading about, you know, him coming here and having the same experience that I get to have is pretty, even just like that kind of like circular kind of thing is so exciting. Like, and just to think about how infinite like its impact can be. You know, it can have the same impact on him, even though he's had such a massive impact on me, and we could share this other thing together. I've always sought some sort of like celebrity, but there's still is that struggle with like, I really want my work to be at the forefront of it. And really, like, a lot of our personalities kind of took over, and our work kind of receded. And, you know, I feel like I've spent the last 5 years trying to recuperate that almost, you know? And at the end of the day, it's all kind of like taken the exact course that it's needed to, you know? We're artists. We're like, look at me, look at me, look at me, don't look at me, you know? Like, so I think there's like that constant thing where it's like you want attention, but there's a thing where it's like, it's not really your personality, it's this thing that you're making. But like your ego wants a part of it, you know, your personality wants some credit for it. But then once it gets too much, you're like, no, it's about the art, you know? So there's like a constant push and pull with that, I think. I don't really care about fashion at all, you know, I got no problem with it, obviously. I think about like style a lot, you know, something, even like looking through magazines, I don't see clothes, but I see like style, you know, and, you know, but I mean fashion, it's weird how like connected the art world and the fashion world are, you know, and like it's hard to say exactly why, you know, but like, you know, I think artists, you know, we're just visual people. Drugs are like a really important part of my maturation or something like that. They inform my work for a lot of years, but they definitely, at a certain point, like because they kind of like were they drove the content. They invented they were such a big part of it, right? That they informed it so heavily that at a certain point it's almost like it was its gasoline, you know? And it just like there's so many things that you can do with it, and like, you know, so I hit a wall with it, right? And it stopped being able to inform my work. but by that point it had become such a big part of my lifestyle that although it wasn't informing the work, I don't know, it just became a struggle. And there was only really I got to a point where it just didn't help inspiration anymore. It did the opposite. It was important for me to move in a different direction, I think, for my work too as well. And I think it's important for any creative process to constantly find different outlets of inspiration, because you need to experience life to its fullest. It's like there's so many highs and lows and stuff like that. I think it's important to find different kind of sources of inspiration.